Welcome back to another episode of the Quarantine Diaries. Once again, day 17, locked in Meridian Woods Church of Christ, and I'm still here holding it down during the COVID-19 quarantine. I hope everybody is finding this video in good health and safety, and you're having a great day. Hopefully this brings you some encouragement. Let's go ahead and start with our verse of the week. Take it away.
Now, when he saw the crowds and he went up on a mountainside and sat down, his disciples came to him and began to teach them, saying, Blessed are the poor in spirit, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven. Blessed are those who mourn, for they will be comforted. Blessed are the meek, for they will inherit the earth. Blessed are those who hunger and thirst for righteousness, for they will be filled. Blessed are the merciful, for they will be shown mercy. Blessed are the pure in heart, for they will see God. Blessed are the peacemakers, for they will be called sons of God. Blessed are those who are persecuted because of righteousness, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven. Blessed are you when people insult you, persecute you, and falsely say all kinds of evil against you because of me. Rejoice and be glad, because that great is their reward in heaven. For in the same way they persecuted the prophets who were before you. Matthew 5, 1 through 12. Back to you, Jared.
Awesome, thank you. Well, today is another exciting day here at the Quarantine Diaries. It is Tuesday, which means another Trivia Tuesday question. Let's go ahead and hear that question, Jared. Trivia Tuesday question this week. What story in Scripture do we see Jesus interacting and talking and just kind of hanging out with two Old Testament prophets? And in this story, this specific story, you see three of the apostles there that witnessed this. So Jesus talking to two Old Testament prophets and three apostles witnessing that. So the question is, what is that story? Just kind of the gist of it. Who are those two prophets and who are those three apostles? And what is the significance of that? So where in the New Testament do we see Jesus hanging out with two prophets, talking to them, and those three apostles that witnessed that? And how is that significant? So send those answers in and we'll reveal those winners on Friday. Awesome. Thank you. So don't forget to get those answers to jared@meridianwoods.org or comment below and we will reveal those winners this Friday. Well, we're continuing to talk about the Sermon on the Mount and the Beatitudes. And one of the craziest things that we see in Scripture when we look at the apostles and the lens that they're seeing these things through, growing up as Jewish boys and girls, learning the Torah, they're studying the Pentateuch, Genesis, Exodus, Leviticus, Numbers, and Deuteronomy. They would pretty much have those books memorized and looking for these things all throughout Scripture built up, pointing to Christ, the prophets, and just the things that God is doing with his relationship with Israel, ushering in this brand new covenant, ushering in what he's going to accomplish. And Jesus is kind of kicking that off here. And he says in verse 17, "Do not think I've come to abolish the law or the prophets. I've not come to abolish them, but to fulfill them. I tell you the truth, until heaven and earth disappear, not the smallest letter, not the least stroke of a pen will by any means disappear from the law until everything is accomplished." And so the apostles, as they heard this, they're thinking of, okay, the prophets were telling us about a new king, a new Israel. He's promising this God that's going to come and free us and take us back to what we used to be. He's going to make Jerusalem what God meant it was. And he doesn't do this through political means. He doesn't do this with the army. He does this through his example, through his teaching, through healing people, through these relationships and finding people where they're at. And so I encourage you to continue to look in those things. And our trivia question is going to kind of build throughout this week. And so we're going to look at those apostles who the trivia question is about and some of the things that would have made sense to them as they saw this. We're going to talk about that significance with that scene with Jesus. And then we're going to talk about the significance of those prophets that he is talking to. And so answer that question and continue to think about that. I hope that you're having a great day. We're going to go ahead and end with another segment, Too Cute Tuesday.
Who let the dogs out? Who let the dogs out? Who let the dogs out? Who let the dogs out?
When the party was nice, the party was pumping.
Hey, yeah. Yippee-yi-yo.
And everybody having a ball.
Yippee-yi-yo.
Until the fellas started name calling.
Yippee-yi-yo.
And the girls to come to the call.